here. The Modjeskas are here. We've got one of the coolest sweet treats for you in our show. A recipe that's been around for over 136 years, and a treat that, quite frankly, is handmade from scratch. The marshmallow on the inside, the caramel on the outside. This, my friends, is a Modjeska. And you can only get them here at QVC. I've never seen one anywhere else except for in our store. Today, we're gonna get you 3 of the 8-ounce bags of this delicious caramel marshmallow treat that always has our customers raving. And we're gonna bring it to you in your choice of flavors. Now, you can get all of them in the sea salt caramel. You can get all of them in the original. You can get all of them in the white chocolate raspberry.
That's the one I'm taking.
I know exactly. Right, or you can get the combo, which is exactly what you're seeing here, 1 bag of each flavor. But today is your day to get the largest marshmallow-covered caramel I've ever seen, or caramel-covered marshmallow I've ever seen. It's a caramel-covered marshmallow, not a marshmallow-covered caramel.
And you know what I was thinking? It's like I've got a golden ticket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
I'm gonna have the other half of yours. That's how big these are.
That's how big these are. Cheers.
Oh my gosh, the raspberry. That's a lot of raspberry.
Isn't that lovely?
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful.
And the white chocolate.
And 96171 is your item number. It is our pleasure to always bring in Anna Bauer from Bauers Candies to our show. Anna, how are you?
I am fantastic. I'm so happy to be here.
Listen, we are always excited when you bring us Modjeskas, because I don't know where else to buy a Modjeska. Like, you can't go anywhere and say, do you have Modjeskas? Like, they don't exist anywhere else. Tell us the story.
Yeah. Well, the Modjeska has been Bauer's signature piece since 1889. And for those of you who may not know, this is a handcrafted marshmallow cream center. So here's our marshmallow that we make in our store every day. So everything is super fresh, super, just made the day that you're ordering. So anybody who's placing an order today, your candy's being made today. But then you take that handcrafted marshmallow cream center and you hand dip that into the velvety, creamy, buttery, homemade caramel that we have. So each one of our marshmallows is hand dipped, hand wrapped into that wax paper that you just took it out of, and then hand packaged just for you all. So, we've been making this piece for, like I say, 136 years, and we know how to do it right.
We always say that if you haven't had a Modjeska, you've actually never tasted a real marshmallow.
Oh, yeah.
Because the handmade marshmallows inside are not the marshmallows you and I get at the grocery store. They're not ones you grew up with. They're not how you expect them to taste. They are tender and a completely different experience in the best way possible.
So can we go through
those
the flavors?
regular marshmallows that you can buy in the store, they would just totally disintegrate and they don't taste right. These are special made. It's a specialized, process that we do in our small batch copper kettles. Each batch yields about 40 to 50 pounds of candy. So on a grand scheme of things, we're making 500 to 800 pounds of candy a day.
Well, Anna, let's go through the flavors, because I want everybody to be able to place their orders and make their choices. At $13.33 on Easy Pay and 96171. Why don't we start with the original? Because I think we basically described the original, right? Like you can see over here, look at a beautiful marshmallow dipped in that caramel, and that caramel, obviously, you're making it in-house, copper kettles. Let's go over to the sea salt caramel, and tell us about that experience, because I have fewer than 100 of those to go around.
Okay, so what we do with the sea salt that makes them a little bit more special and unique is, instead of putting that sea salt on the top of the candy and then wrapping it, that way, if you did that, it becomes a gritty kind of bitter taste. So we infuse that sea salt into the caramel so that it kind of melts. And then as you chew and you let that piece of, sea salt Modjeska melt in your mouth, that sea salt, just the profile begins to grow and grow. And it's just the right amount of sweet and salty. So good. Never too salty.
And then we got to get to the raspberry, because, honestly, I would have never picked up the raspberry. I would have never, that is not what I would have ever picked up.
I said it was
You picked it up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And it tastes like a fresh raspberry. It is so flavorful. Okay, so tell us about that process. How do you do that?
So what we've done with this with this white chocolate raspberry, and a lot of people are going, white chocolate. Well, we infuse that chocolate into the caramel as well, kind of like we do the sea salt.
So it makes it even sweeter.
The white chocolate into the caramel just makes that a little bit more smooth and creamy. And then you have that beautiful raspberry flavoring that just comes right to the surface as your first bite, you can taste it. As you begin to savor that piece of candy, then that raspberry flavor profile just begins to build as well. So that's one thing that we love to do with the Modjeska, is that you don't get like just a punch. As soon as you take it, you get that warm, inviting, great, soft, creamy chew, and the profile just continues to build as you chew.
You know, if you're thinking, wow, this sounds like sweet on sweet, like a marshmallow and caramel, somehow the Modjeskas, they actually, it's a beautiful marriage, and it's balanced, and it's not overwhelmingly sweet, right? Of course, it's a caramel and it's a marshmallow, but they actually have such a lovely interplay and dance with one another that it isn't like, okay, my teeth are ringing. It's incredible how delicious these are, and you're not going to find this anywhere else. Like, as we said, I've never seen it in a candy store. I've seen it here, and then Anna Bauer has it, but that's it. It's 96171. That's your item number. Get this, because I don't even know the last time we saw this was.
Let me get you an update on this, because actually the last time we saw this was in June of last year, and it's sold out.
A year.
Oh my goodness.
So if you want the original is available. You can get all 3 bags in the original, fewer than 200. If you want the sea salt caramel, we're last call. If you want the white chocolate raspberry, 100 remain. If you want the combo, only 400 remain.
Just get it.
But at $13 and change, and 96171 is your item number. Anna Bauer, it is always a pleasure to have you on our show. We'll probably see you like during the holidays.
Right.
But like, I feel like we never see you other than that. So I was excited to see you today.
Oh, you're gonna see me lots and lots more. Don't worry.
All right.
Thanks.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
So it's 6 o'clock at the top of the hour, and we have something special going on, Bear T.
we
It
do.
is the Q